We're going to see and hear some pretty amazing stories this evening of veterans grappling with the devastating symptoms of PTSD, of children who've been neglected and abused, including sexually abused, and other children for whom just getting to and from school each day is so dangerous that they're unable to learn when they get there. The good news, of course, is that all these scenarios respond well to an apparently simple but amazingly powerful technique. Yes, you've guessed it, Transcendental Meditation. Wounded warriors can now start to lead happy and productive lives, and traumatized children can begin to enjoy their childhood. Put simply, TM can heal and can transform people's lives. What connects all these stories tonight are stress and trauma, which is really just an extreme form of stress. People who are terribly distressed and stressed, be they soldiers under mortar fire or children being abused, sustain a blow to those parts of the brain, such as the amygdala, that register danger. And these parts, these brain centers, continue to reverberate long after the danger is over, like a gong that continues to vibrate long after it has been struck. Our fight or flight responses remain on high alert, resulting in hypervigilance, flashbacks, and nightmares, all of which are symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. Researchers have shown that if you startle people with unpleasantly loud noises or violent movie images, those who practice TM regularly will settle down much more quickly than their non-meditating counterparts. TM appears to be acting as a surge protector, reducing the impact of stress on the body and the mind. During a TM session, a soothing flux of alpha waves sweeps over the brain, especially the prefrontal cortex just behind the forehead, which is the part of the brain responsible for making good decisions and judgments. The electrical waves in different parts of the brain begin to work more coherently together. We enter, as David has so eloquently described, a state of transcendence, in which we are calm but alert, and at times very, very blissful. Practiced repeatedly, these effects permeate our lives, even between meditation sessions, an effect best demonstrated by the beneficial influence of TM on the heart and the blood vessels. If I can have the first slide. What this shows here is blood pressure results in hundreds of people who've practiced TM for a few months compared to controls. As you can see, TM lowers blood pressure, both the high one, which is the systolic, and the lower one, which is the diastolic. The so-called silent killer is high blood pressure, and the resulting reduction is significant, not only statistically, but also clinically, because over time, practicing TM regularly can reduce heart attacks and strokes and actually prolong life. Now that sounds pretty wild, doesn't it? Well, take a look at the next slide and judge for yourself. What this slide shows is a follow-up study that Dr. Robert Schneider and colleagues conducted on people whose blood pressure they had previously studied. An analysis of national death records revealed that compared to controls, those people previously assigned to the TM condition, an average of 7 years earlier, showed a 23% reduction in overall mortality and a 30% reduction in cardiac mortality. Now, death by cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in the US, so we should all be pricking up our ears at these results. It has been said that what is good for the heart is also good for the brain, and we all know how harmful stress can be to emotional well-being. An estimated 40 million people suffer from anxiety disorders, and as for the rest of us, well, between the economy and global warming and finding a job and keeping your job, you know the drill, we're all pretty stressed out as well. The good news is that TM can cushion the impact of many different types of stress. In fact, across the board, it is one of the biggest stress relievers that I have ever encountered in over 30 years as a psychiatrist. I have often thought that if TM were a drug that could be put into a capsule and patented and marketed, it would be a billion-dollar blockbuster.